What if we told you there's an engine out there that can rack up 1,000,000 miles and still ask for more? Or a tiny 3-cylinder monster that somehow cranks out 600 horsepower like it's no big deal? And what if we told you an engine could exist without camshafts? Yeah, we checked. Witchcraft isn't illegal in engineering. From legendary workhorses like the Jeep 4.0-liter straight 6 and the indestructible Chevy small block V8 to futuristic marvels like Koenigsegg's camless tiny friendly giant. These aren't just engines, they're mechanical miracles. So buckle up, because we're diving into 30 legendary car engines that refuse to die. Some you know, some will blow your mind, and a few will have you questioning whether we're already living in a science fiction movie. Let's go! Number 30. Ford Voodoo V8. This 5.2-liter naturally aspirated beast doesn't just make power, it screams. We're talking 526 horsepower and a redline that soars to 8,250 RPM, unleashing a sound so raw, so exotic, that for a second you might forget it's American. And the secret? A flat-plane crankshaft, the same design Ferrari uses in their V8s. That means faster revs, sharper sounds, and a track-ready punch that lets it go head-to-head with European supercars. But here's where Ford pulled a genius move. They didn't just make a high-revving masterpiece, they made it affordable. While exotic flat-plane engines usually come attached to supercar price tags, the Voodoo V8 delivers that Ferrari-like thrill without requiring you to sell a kidney. It's the perfect mix of old-school muscle and cutting-edge engineering, brutal, balanced, and absolutely built to dominate. Number 29. BMW S58. The BMW S58 twin-turbo inline-6 isn't just an engine, it's a performance masterpiece. With 503 horsepower under its belt, this beast powers high-performance machines like the G80 M3 and G82 M4, delivering ferocious speed, razor-sharp response, and handling so precise it feels borderline telepathic. As the successor to the legendary B58, the S58 takes everything great about its predecessor and turns the dial up to 11, more boost, more power, and even greater durability. And despite being a relatively new engine, it's already proving rock solid, offering supercar-level performance without forcing you to give up BMW's signature daily drivability. Bottom line, the S58 doesn't just push the limits of an inline-6, it straight-up rewrites the rulebook. Number 28. GM LS V8. Since 1997, the LS engine family has been the beating heart of everything, from hard-working Chevy Silverados hauling loads to track-shredding Camaros embarrassing supercars. And that's exactly what makes it legendary. Truck owners love it because it's basically indestructible, racking up hundreds of thousands of miles like it's no big deal. But tuners? They worship the LS for a whole different reason. Its simple, no-nonsense design makes it stupidly easy to extract huge power on a budget. In other words, it's the ultimate why-not engine. Want a 1,000 horsepower sleeper? LS swap it. Need a budget-friendly track build? LS swap it. Your toaster broke? Well, someone's probably LS swapped that too. Number 27. BMW M50. If there's one thing BMW does better than most, it's building legendary inline-6 engines, and the M50 is Exhibit A. This engine marked a huge milestone in 1992 with the introduction of single vanos on the intake cam, giving it variable valve timing for the first time. But its impact didn't stop there. The M50 laid the foundation for the high-performance S50, the powerhouse behind the legendary E36 M3, a car that defined an era of driving purity. And durability? This thing is built like a tank. With a cast-iron block, it's practically begging for massive boost pressure. Turbo builders love it because it can handle absurd amounts of power without flinching. If engines had personalities, the M50 would be that quiet, unassuming guy who secretly bench presses 400 pounds. Number 26. Mercedes-Benz OM617. Built from 1974 to 1991, the OM617 3.0-liter 5-cylinder diesel was practically a mechanical fortress. Cast iron block? Check. Chain-driven camshaft? Indestructible. This thing didn't just power taxis across the globe, it put Mercedes on the map in the US, proving that diesel wasn't just about fuel economy, it could be powerful, reliable, and practically immortal. And if you think diesel means slow, think again. Turbocharged versions of the OM617 pushed past 200 horsepower and even shattered world speed records. It was tough, fast, and completely unstoppable. A true diesel icon that refused to quit. Number 25. Toyota 2 GR. Since 2005, this 3.5-liter 60-degree V6 has done it all, hauling Tacomas, powering Camrys, giving Lexus models their smoothness, and even taking on the track in the Lotus Evora and racing Corollas. That versatility hasn't gone unnoticed. It's landed on Ward's 10 Best Engines list multiple times. With a die-cast aluminum block and up to 316 horsepower, it's not just efficient and powerful. It's the kind of engine you can trust for life. Number 24. Ford Windsor V8. Some engines come and go, but the Ford Windsor V8 has been a legend since the 1960s. This engine not only powered Mustangs, it also found its way into F-150s, hot rods, and classic builds, earning a reputation for bulletproof reliability. It's not uncommon to see Windsors pushing past 200,000 miles and still running strong. With displacements like the 289 and 302 cubic inch variants, the Windsor became a favorite for tuners and collectors thanks to its simple, robust design and endless upgrade potential. Decades later, it's still one of the most celebrated V8s in automotive history, a true symbol of raw American horsepower. Number 23. Ford EcoBoost. Ford's EcoBoost engines prove one thing: turbocharged power is here to stay. These modern marvels deliver the perfect mix of performance and efficiency, keeping gasoline engines alive in a world racing toward electrification. Take the 2.3-liter EcoBoost in the Ford Focus RS, a four-cylinder making 350 horsepower. That's V8-level power from a tiny turbocharged package. And it doesn't stop there. From the Mustang to the Bronco and Ranger, EcoBoost engines power Ford's lineup with confidence. Number 22. Jaguar V12. Born from 1950s motorsport innovation, this masterpiece first roared to life in the 1964 XJ13 Le Mans prototype, setting the stage for its 5.3-liter production debut in the legendary 1971 Jaguar E-Type. It wasn't just a powerhouse, it was versatile, finding its way into Daimler and Panther models, proving that luxury and performance could coexist. And Jaguar didn't stop there. In 1981, they introduced the high-efficiency version, improving fuel economy by 50% while keeping that signature V12 punch. Later, the 6.0-liter variant pushed 333 horsepower, making it even more formidable. Though it never made it into the XJ220, the Jaguar V12 cemented its legacy before its final farewell in 1997, marking the end of an era for one of the most iconic engines ever built. Number 21. Aston Martin's naturally aspirated V12. It sounds like pure British engineering, but the Aston Martin naturally aspirated V12 has a surprising origin story. It all started with a 2.5-liter V6, originally developed by Suzuki and Mazda. Then Ford had Cosworth rework it into the Duratec V6, but Aston took two of them and fused them together. The result was the legendary 5.9-liter, branded as 6.0-liter V12, which debuted in the 1999 DB7 Vantage with 414 horsepower. That innovation didn't just shape the past, it paved the way for the future. And while the naturally aspirated era eventually gave way to turbocharging, its legacy lives on. The DB11's twin-turbo V12 carries the torch, while the 6.5-liter Valkyrie engine pushes over 1,000 horsepower at a screaming 10,500 RPM. Number 20. Honda B18C. Found in legends like the Integra Type R, the B18C became famous for its DOHC VTEC system, which delivered both efficiency and exhilarating power. Don't let the aluminum block fool you. This engine was built to take a beating and keep going. With proper care, these engines often push past 250,000 miles without breaking a sweat. But the craziest part is that, even when pushed to the limit in high-performance builds, the B18C refuses to quit. It's like a prizefighter with the endurance of a marathon runner. And when it launched, it held the record for the highest specific output of any naturally aspirated engine. Number 19, Chrysler 225. Slant 6. Some engines are tough, but the Chrysler 225 Slant 6 is practically immortal. This inline 6 powered everything from Plymouth Valiants to Dodge Darts, earning a reputation as one of the most indestructible engines ever built. What made it so bulletproof? For starters, cast iron construction made it ridiculously durable. But the real genius? Chrysler tilted it 30 degrees, giving it a lower hood line and better weight distribution. That durability wasn't just a selling point, it became legendary. 300,000 miles? Easy. 500,000 miles? Common. Some have even powered generators and irrigation pumps because when you build an engine this good, it refuses to retire. Number 18, Volkswagen 1.9 TDI. It is one of those engines that proves big things can come in small packages. So, what makes it such a legend? It all starts with a cast iron block and head, giving it the strength to handle decades of wear and tear. On top of that, its distributor injection pump system is a simpler, more durable alternative to common rail setups. But here's the real magic: its low-stress design. Even when putting out solid power, this engine doesn't push itself to the edge, and that's why it just doesn't quit. Number 17, Volvo B230. The Volvo B230 is another masterpiece of durability, a 2.3-liter inline-4 that powered Volvos through the 1980s and 1990s. It's a perfect example of Volvo's philosophy back then: build cars and engines to last forever. And that longevity was the result of meticulous engineering. Like, the block is cast iron, which is practically bulletproof, and the crankshaft is forged steel, supported by 5 main bearings. That combination means this engine can handle heavy loads and just shrug it off. Number 16, Honda J35. The Honda J35 is the powerhouse behind countless Honda and Acura models, proving time and time again why Honda has a reputation for building engines that just won't quit. Its secret? A perfect blend of strength, innovation, and efficiency. The die-cast aluminum block is reinforced with cast iron cylinder liners, giving it the perfect balance of strength and weight. Then there's Honda's legendary VTEC system, which fine-tunes performance and efficiency across the rev range, reducing unnecessary strain on the engine. Number 15, Cummins 6BT. Originally designed in 1984 for farm and construction work, this engine wasn't about being fancy. It was built to work. At 5.9 liters and nearly 1,100 pounds, it's a tank of an engine. With a whole-set turbocharger, it cranked out anywhere from 160 to 210 horsepower and up to 440 pound-feet of torque, numbers that made other diesels of the time look weak. But the real magic? Durability. Designed to handle over 350,000 miles with basic maintenance, plenty have blown past that without breaking a sweat. Number 14, Chevrolet Small Block V8. Since its debut in 1955, over 100 million Chevy Small Block V8s have been built. If you don't own one, you definitely know someone who does. This is the ultimate American V8, easy to work on, ridiculously modifiable, and built for everything. Need power? This engine can handle it. Modern tuners have pushed them past 2,000 horsepower, yet at the same time, you'll find them humming away in classic muscle cars, race-winning Le Mans machines, work trucks, and even bread vans. There's almost nothing this engine hasn't powered. Number 13, Volkswagen Air-Cooled Flat 4. From 1936 to 2006, an incredible 70-year run, Volkswagen built somewhere between 20 to 30 million of these engines. They powered everything from the iconic Beetle to camper vans, turning simple transportation into a cultural movement. The Beetle didn't just get people from point A to point B. It changed how North America saw compact cars. What made this engine so special? Simplicity. It's lightweight, air-cooled, so no radiator headaches, and ridiculously easy to repair. A few basic tools and some spare parts, and you're back on the road. That's why these classics are still alive and running worldwide. Number 12. Toyota 2 JZ GTE. If there's one engine that defines bulletproof performance, it's the Toyota 2 JZ GTE. Found in the legendary Supra Turbo, this 3.0-liter inline-six wasn't just about power. It was about how it delivered it. Toyota's sequential twin-turbo setup was pure genius. Instead of both turbos working at the same time, the first kicked in early, around 1,800 RPM for instant torque. Then, at 4,000 RPM, the second turbo joined the party, unleashing serious power without the dreaded turbo lag. The result was 326 horsepower, a 0 to 60 time of just 4.6 seconds, and a quarter mile in 13.1 seconds. Top speed? 155 miles per hour. And that's stock. Start tuning and these engines easily push 1,000 plus horsepower without breaking a sweat. Number 11. Audi 4.2-liter FSI V8. Audi took a bold step away from its turbocharged legacy when it introduced the naturally aspirated 4.2-liter FSI V8 in the 2006 RS4. And what a move it was. High revving, razor sharp, and loud in all the right ways, this engine quickly became a favorite among enthusiasts. It powered beasts like the RS5 and the mid-engined R8, delivering an 8,250 RPM redline and an exhaust note that could send chills down your spine. It didn't just sound exotic, it felt exotic, making every drive an event. Number 10. Dodge Supercharged 6.2-liter HEMI. HEMI engines have been legends since the 426 HEMY of the late 1960s, but Dodge has taken things to a completely different level. With up to 807 horsepower, this engine makes the old-school muscle cars look tame. That's almost double the power of the 1970 Plymouth Cuda with its iconic 426 HEMY. It's the ultimate fusion of classic muscle and modern engineering, proving that even in a world of hybrids and EVs, Dodge is still all about supercharged, tire-shredding insanity. Number 9. Lamborghini L 539 V12. Few engines have a legacy as rich as Lamborghini's L539 V12. From the Miura to the Aventador, this masterpiece has evolved for over 50 years, refining its brutal power while staying true to Lamborghini's DNA. Now it's stepping into the future as the heart of Lamborghini's first hybrid supercar. This new hybrid system is nothing short of mind-blowing. Nearly 1,000 horsepower, a screaming 9,500 RPM redline, and electric motors on all four wheels for insane grip and instant torque. Even the battery tech is cutting edge. A 3.8 kilowatt-hour unit that charges in just 30 minutes via plug-in or 6 minutes using the engine. Number 8. Ferrari Colombo V12. It started small, a 1.5-liter V12, but over 4 decades it evolved massively. Displacement grew, forced induction was introduced, and by the time it reached its peak, it had dual overhead cams and electronic fuel injection. This engine didn't just power Ferraris, it defined them. From the 250 Testarossa to the 250 GTO and the breathtaking 365 GTB for Daytona, the Colombo 512 was the beating heart of some of the most iconic Ferraris ever built. Number 7. AMC Jeep 4.0-liter straight six. Ask any Jeep owner and they'll tell you, this thing is nearly indestructible. Popular mechanics once called it as reliable as a block of wood, and that's no exaggeration. It could take insane levels of abuse, off-road, in extreme weather, even neglected maintenance, and just keep running. It powered Cherokees, Wranglers, and countless other models for decades, building a reputation as one of the toughest engines ever built. Simple, rugged, and practically unkillable. This is the engine Jeep enthusiasts swear by. Number 6. Koenigsegg Tiny Friendly Giant TFG. Koenigsegg's Tiny Friendly Giant TFG engine is nothing short of revolutionary, shattering expectations of what a performance engine can be. Powering the Gemera, Koenigsegg's first four-seater hypercar, this 2.0-liter, three-cylinder monster somehow cranks out 600 horsepower on its own, helping push the car's total output to a staggering 1,700 horsepower. Its secret? Free valve technology. Instead of traditional camshafts, it uses electronically controlled valves, optimizing fuel and airflow while cutting weight and reducing energy loss. Add in sequential turbos and advanced materials, and you get an engine that's lightweight, brutally powerful, and insanely efficient. Number 5. Volvo Red Block. The Volvo Red Block engine family is the very definition of overbuilt and unbreakable. Produced from the late 1960s to the early 2000s, these cast-iron beasts earned a reputation for hitting 300,000 miles and beyond with just basic maintenance. Found in models like the 240, 740, and 940, the Red Block wasn't just a workhorse for family sedans, it also powered some serious turbocharged performance machines. Volvo designed it to take abuse, and tuners quickly realized just how much power these things could handle. Number 4. Fiat Multi-Air Turbo. Fiat's multi-air turbo engines prove that small cars can still pack a serious punch. With a little help from Chrysler, Fiat carved out its place in the North American microcar scene, proving that compact doesn't have to mean compromised. Available in 1.3-liter and 1.4-liter variants, these turbocharged power plants push out up to 177 horsepower, delivering zippy city performance without sacrificing fuel efficiency. Found in models like the 500X and 500L, they offer the perfect mix of personality and practicality. Number 3. Ford Super Duty 6.7-liter Power Stroke V8. The 6.7-liter Power Stroke V8 is Ford's heavy-duty diesel powerhouse. Built specifically for the F250 Super Duty and up since 2011. Designed in-house, it had some growing pains early on. Issues with ceramic ball bearings and Bosch fuel pumps caused a few headaches. But by 2015, Ford worked out the kinks, and this engine became a true workhorse. Today, it's a torque monster cranking out up to 500 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 1,200 pound-feet of torque. And when properly maintained, it's known to last hundreds of thousands of miles, making it more than ready for towing, hauling, or anything else you throw at it. Number 2. Bugatti W16. The Bugatti W16 is what happens when engineering has no limits. Inspired by Ettore Bugatti's obsession with pushing boundaries, Volkswagen took VR6 technology, doubled it, and created an ultra-compact 16-cylinder powerhouse unlike anything else. With 4 camshafts and 4 turbochargers, this engine redefined what's possible, launching Bugatti's hypercars to unimaginable speeds. Hand-assembled in Molsheim, France, every W16 is built with a level of craftsmanship rarely seen in modern automotive engineering. Number 1. Alfa Romeo 690T. Unlike its V8 relatives, this 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 is all about compact precision, delivering 540 horsepower with a razor-sharp throttle response. A 0 to 60 time of 3.6 seconds might not top today's record books, but that's not the point. This engine was built for balance, agility, and driving purity over brute force. In the Giulia GTA and GTAM, it's paired with extreme aero and chassis upgrades, transforming these cars into track weapons that still remain street-legal masterpieces. Which engine impressed you the most? Got a high-mileage legend of your own? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you love geeking out over legendary engines, insane performance, and automotive tech, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.